How you doing? Crystal, Ruhul, hi. Thanks guys, thanks for your patience. I had some technical issues with Facebook as usual. I like to say this was a glitch, but I'm tired of making excuses now. So yeah, anytime you broadcast live, guys, if ever you decide to do the whole live video thing, um, anything that can go wrong almost always does, all right? But today I'm going to be actually doing something I've never done before, and the reason why I've never done it is because I don't eat pork, and this dish is traditionally made with pork spare ribs, all right? It's called Bak Kut Teh, and literally it means spare rib tea, all right? But it's a savory dish. And I'm trying to remember if I've ever actually eaten it, because like my pork aversion goes back to my childhood, but in reality, and I hope you can hear me by the way. I think you can, right? Yeah. So the in reality, yeah, the smell of this particular dish is very strong, and it's so famous in Malaysia that you get an entire suburb in Kuala Lumpur that's famous for Bak Kut Teh, and you get like, you know, basically lots and lots of competing stalls selling this dish. Now, like I said, I've never actually had it, I don't think. Maybe I have, but I can't remember, right? Maybe I kind of like held my nose and decided to just try some when I was a kid, but I don't really remember. But yeah, the other thing that I'm cheating with here is that I'm going to be using these packet herbs and spices, all right? As far as I can tell, unless I think you're a Bak Kut Teh specialty restaurant, as far as I can tell, everybody buys these herbs and spices to make it. So they're pre-made, all right? So it's not like you can go into a supermarket and grab this and grab that, because some of the ingredients are fairly exotic. Now, Noah, of course, Noah decides to impose his presence. Now, having said that, right, when I was in Malaysia for Walk Around Asia just a couple of weeks back, now there was a stall in Penang actually that sold Bak Kut Teh herbs and spices, all right, all of it loose, and they basically just collate everything together for you and let you take it home, right? And I was very tempted to buy that, but I said I'm not sure if I can bring it through Australian customs, because Australian customs is like one of the toughest in the world, where you have to declare any kind of food stuff that you bring across, and a lot of the time a lot of stuff is not allowed through. Okay, so I said I'm actually bringing it back to Australia. He said, well, in that case you won't be able to get through customs with what we got, right? So instead he sold me this. Okay, this is an A1 brand. It just says soup spices, okay, but it's actually, the picture is of Bak Kut Teh, okay, the particular dish, right? So the point of difference between this and what he was selling at his specialty Bak Kut Teh store was that this one does not have the seeds you need, right, for a full-blown authentic Bak Kut Teh. And Ling, I can't believe you never had any. I know, right? I got a bit of a story to tell. Actually, maybe I should tell it off air, Ling. But it had to do with my first magazine that I put out years ago. I put out an iPad app, right? Magazine app. Noah's decided to join me over here. No, this was Noah's first day at school, by the way, guys. So, but he only spent a couple of hours there because he had a hospital appointment as well. So I spent all day driving around all over Sydney and just stressing out that I wasn't going to get back here in time, in fact. Now, so I bought this, right? But the brand here is A1, okay? Now, if you're based in Australia and you're an Asian in Australia and you do a lot of your shopping at Asian grocery stores, you will know this brand, okay? A1. And I'm pretty sure I brought this all the way back from Malaysia because the guy from the Bak Kut Teh stall in Penang sold this to me, okay? This was his kind of like go-to brand if I can't buy it from him fresh, okay? But I know for a fact that A1 is very popular here in Australia. I have no affiliation with them. I can probably pick this up at my local Asian grocery store, is what I'm trying to say. So if you're based in Australia, or even if you're based overseas and you want to try and attempt this dish, have a look at your Asian grocery store spice section and see if you can buy this thing called soup spices, okay? But the picture looks like Bak Kut Teh. It's basically like a brown brown broth with pork spare rib in it. Now, when I then moved on to Kuala Lumpur, right? Kuala Lumpur and Penang has a little bit of a rivalry happening as far as food is concerned. I was in Kuala Lumpur's Chinatown, and the store there recommended this brand. Okay, here goes a Bak Kut Teh, and again it just say herbal soup mix. All right, so Bak Kut Teh essentially is like a herbal concoction. Now, I'm not. If you're Chinese, right? The Chinese have like are quite fond of herbal soups, whether sweet or savory and that sort of stuff, right? I'm not one of those, okay? So, but I think Bak Kut Teh is meant to be so unique that like it crosses like barriers as far as people who are a bit reticent about having like, you know, herbal smelling food is in their diet. Yeah. The one thing I noticed right away, first of all, this cost me 1780 Malaysian dollars, okay, which is about $6. Now, I thought it was just the one serve, but having opened it up just right now, there's actually two batches in here, so I can actually make 2 batches. So I thought it was quite expensive for 18 bucks to be paying for Bak Kut Teh spices. But having said that, even with these 2 packs, right, you can tell that they're bulky. They're bulkier than the A1 brand, okay? So we're gonna open up both packets and have a look and see how different they are. One, apa kabar? Hey, Shalkani, apa kabar? How are you? Sorry I didn't get to catch up with you in Malacca. Next trip, yeah? Next trip, I'm hoping to go back again this year. But okay, so we have 2 lots of Bak Kut Teh, and I'm using chicken because again I don't eat pork. So you guys will, you know, obviously if you like your spare ribs, use that instead. But as far as I can tell, there's not a lot of as far as the technique is concerned, it's a matter of like boiling the meat with the herbs with garlic. All right, so the other thing you'll know from my broadcast is I like shortcuts, so you see me use the peeled garlic a lot of time, garlic cloves. But for Bak Kut Teh, I actually went out and bought like these whole garlic bulbs, because traditionally it's actually cooked with whole garlic bulbs. All right. Now the other thing as well, the version of Bak Kut Teh that I grew up knowing that my family was so fond of is actually eaten with these fried dough sticks, what we in Cantonese call yao zha gui. I was told this last trip in Malaysia that that's a Kuala Lumpur version, which is down south, which is my version, right? Apparently they don't do it in like further up north in Penang. I don't know, maybe some Penang people watching this will know and let me know, okay? Like I said, first of all, I've never eaten this myself, but second of all, when I see my family eat it, they like eating it with yao zha gui, okay? This is the fried dough stick that any Asian will know. All right, so you cut them into chunks and you throw it into your soup, and I can see how it would appeal, because it's got like you know, it's rich and a little bit greasy, and also it acts like a sponge and soaks up the flavors of the soup as well. Okay. Now, one key ingredient that you want are tofu puffs, and I picked up some tofu puffs here. Okay, so again, the tofu puffs are like catacombs, all right? Tofu puffs are basically tofu that have been deep fried to the point where they start to kind of like puff up, right? So that they're no longer dense, but the catacomby texture allows them to act like little sponges, so they soak up all the flavors and all that, right? Now, the other thing I know eating Bak Kut Teh, well, my family eating Bak Kut Teh, is that they usually eat it with white rice, alright? So we're just going to go with white rice today, but when I did a little bit of research online, I noticed there are a lot of Bak Kut Teh recipes that came with yam rice, okay? And I was going to do yam rice, but then I thought, like, with no other way he is, and the fact that we've been at the hospital half the day today, that I'm not gonna drag this out any longer than I have to. All right. So hey, Ivan, how you doing? Arina, how are you? Hey, Jennifer. HC, how are you? Hey, Alex, how are you? All right. So let's just move this. And by the way, guys, if you are, I've got a couple of giveaways. One for everyone, and the other one is for people who are based in Australia only. If you go and have a look at, I'm trying to figure out the website now, this is really embarrassing, hang on a sec, just let's have a look. Aussie Trend Handicrafts, Aussie Trend, okay, this is not pulling it up. Now, Aussie Trend Handicrafts is a Malaysian-owned business based in Australia, and what they do are these craft sets, all right? And it's a specific type of craft called diamond dots with a Z. So if you Google diamond dots, D-O-T-Z, right, you'll see what I mean. It's a little bit hard for me to describe it because I don't do any craft at all right? Cooking is about as creative an endeavor as I do. I'm generally very technical and very pedantic and that sort of stuff. But if you look up diamond dots, you'll see the products here. And so this particular broadcast is actually being, okay, what happened to my screen? Sorry, hang on a sec. That's the wind covering the curtain. Okay. Now, if you look up diamond dots, like I said, I've got basically 2 gift sets to give away throughout the course of this this Chinese New Year series. I'll give 1 set away tonight, all right? So stick around to the end of this broadcast. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a tool to basically draw your names. So you have to give me your names and I'll throw it into the tool. We had some problems with the tool the other day, but today we're just going to wing it. We're just going to actually manually force it to work. So stick around, like I said, but essentially what it is, they're these little bead things, right? With glue that you stick onto like a patch of you know, artwork sort of thing. So what you end up with is like this really beautiful, like shiny piece of artwork. Okay, so that's called diamond dots, D-I-A-M-O-N-D D-O-T-Z. Okay, diamond dots. The product, the company that's sponsoring it is called Aussie Trend Handicrafts. And it is it's owned by a lady by the name of Lisa Allerton here in Australia, who's originally from Penang. Actually, there you go. I'm just trying to look up her URL again now. Sorry about this. Okay. The URL is Aussie Trend Handicrafts plural.com. All right. So the set that I'm giving away, if you're watching this anywhere else at all, I have posted an image and a link over on Discord, all right, of the prize that I'm giving away tonight. So if you head over to my Discord server, which should be on the screen, it's not on the screen, which is bit.ly/discordjackie. Discord is D-I-S-C-O-R-D, Discord Jackie, right? That you get an idea if you're really invested in trying to win this. You don't have to do anything, all right? All it is just you giving me your name and I'll do a draw for you at the end of tonight. The other thing is that, I'm just going to say, the other giveaway are just ang pao packets, all right? So this is a little bit of a novelty item. There you go again. Here you go. Sit, all right, and stay, please. I can't take any more of this. Hang on. All right, so the other giveaway tonight are these packets of ang pao. All right, there's no money in it. You're gonna put money in it, but it will save you having to hunt down really like groovy ang pao packets. All right, this is courtesy of the Federal Hotel in Kuala Lumpur, and these are specially designed for the Year of the Dog, right? And it's also the 60th anniversary of the Federal Hotel in Kuala Lumpur, so it's a very iconic, very historic building, hotel chain. Okay, so if your name gets drawn, you win one of these, and I'll send this anywhere around the world. Okay, so again, the diamond dots send you available to Australian residents because of postage costs and all that sort of stuff. But the ang pao packets, I'll send anywhere. All right, and yeah, just keep it as a collectible if nothing else. So let's get started. All right, let's open these two up and have a look. And in the meantime, let me find a couple of things. Scissors would be helpful. So this is my first time opening these up. Be interesting to see how they look. Okay, so this is completely in powder form. Okay, so this is the one from A1 Soup Spices. If anyone's used one of these before, let me know. I'm trying to see how it smells. It smells very cinnamony, okay? And I need to figure out if I'm supposed to use both packs or just the one. Hey Sharon, hey Nishu, how you doing? Hi, Ivan, Erina, how are you? Jennifer, hi. Just say hello to my Twitch people. Hashtag me crew, hey. Hey Remy, how you doing? It's fogged. I strip potatoes. Hi, how are you? Yeah, it was fogged because because the I know. Sorry about that. I moved my curtain yesterday because I was doing some filming outside and it kind of flew over and covered it up. Hashtag me crew. Good to see you guys. All right, let's have a look at this one here. Okay, like I said, this one looks more substantial. It's got lumps in it. This is all just powder. Okay. Let's open this. I hope I don't rip off any packaging by mistake. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, oh, whoa, look at this. Okay, this is all individually packed stuff. How intriguing is this? This looks like a date, dried date. Okay, let me throw this all out. All right, so this looks more more promising. Okay. So we've got these ones here. This is a popular Chinese herbal soup ingredient. They're these red little, what are they called? Someone would know. Okay, what else do we have? We've got the date, right? We've got this one here. I have no idea what it is. Okay, I think this is it's like longan, you know, that dried longan. Someone might be able to tell me. Maybe Pearly can tell us. Okay. So it tastes a little bit sweet, and then it's got, let me just throw it all out. I have a feeling if you come across a Chinese herbalist here in Sydney, right, and ask them for a Bak Kut Teh mix, I have a feeling that they should know what to do. All right, I think Bak Kut Teh actually comes from Malaysia. Am I right? If anyone can tell me if Bak Kut Teh is from Malaysia specifically or Singapore, but obviously Chinese herbalists in other parts of the world may not necessarily be from that part of, from our part of the world. All right, but I think they might know Bak Kut Teh. This, I don't know what this is called. Again, this is something that's quite common in Chinese herbal soups, right? And then this, I don't know what this is. It looks like another type of root. And then you've got these ones here. Okay, I should take a photo of this. This is very intriguing. Okay. And also it still comes with a little sachet here too. Okay. Okay. They smell substantially different, you know. This one, like I said, this one smells very very cinnamony, very like spice powdery. Okay. This one smells more sweet, but also this one like supplements the rest of these herbs over here. And none of these are actually cinnamon. Okay, these are all like Chinese herbs. Like I said, it's got the date, it's got like some root stuff that have been sliced up and dried, and some little twigs here. That's one like area of my knowledge which is a complete, like, you know, completely non-existent, is basically Chinese herbs. All right. Hey Sharon, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey Terrace, how you doing? Jennifer, how are you? All right, so let's get started. All right. So what I think I might do is actually split this into 2 batches, okay, and then have a look and see how they turn out. But what I'm also going to do as well is let me have a quick read of the instructions. I'm gonna grab some frozen stock. Hang on a sec. Alright, so I've got some frozen chicken stock over here. I'm just gonna open it up. And I've got a whole chicken as well. So we'll be using the chicken for the meat and also for more flavor. But this chicken stock is actually concentrated chicken stock, so it will be very flavorsome in and of itself. I need to I need to sort out a way to permanently mount this. Hang on. But okay, that's better. All right. I want to get like I'm gonna get a cable tie and make sure that doesn't fall off again, so give me a second. Okay. I think that works. Perfect. Alright, cool. It's wolfberries. Wolfberries. There you go. They're called wolfberries. See? Jacqueline, thanks for that. I went to school with Jacqueline, by the way, guys. Small world. Hanga, how you doing? It's a goji berry. Goji berry, wolfberry, I guess they're the same thing, right? Okay, so we've got the whole garlic, and what we're going to do is just slice off the top of the garlic so that the bulbs get exposed, so that the flavors get absorbed into the soup. But let's have a quick read of the instructions. Let's read the ingredients list first of all. Alright, so from the A1 soup spice mix, which is just powder, there's a sachet like this. It contains cinnamon, like I said, angelica pepper, Aralia cordata, sinensis, star anise, Porantil sigusticum. Some of these names I've known, and a few different rhizomes, alright? Even a rhizome linguistic. That sounds very academic. Whereas this one here from Kuala Lumpur says it contains fructus jujube, polygonatum, or I'm not going to read this because this is very very technical, but no mention of cinnamon in this, which is, like I said, you know, this one smells very cinnamony. It's overpoweringly cinnamony. This one has, let's do a comparison of the ingredients. Angelica pepper, this one says Angelica sinensis, and they both have the rhizome linguistici. This one says linguistic, this one linguistici. Okay, this one's got lychee, alright? So the Kuala Lumpur version has lychee. But the rest of the names do not match up. It may just be a... And then it says and spices. It doesn't actually list what spices, okay? So maybe it does actually contain tiny amounts of cinnamon, I don't know. So they're being a little bit vague, but as far as the core ingredients, really I can only see one core ingredient that actually correlate with each other, okay? So this is very interesting. Let's get some saucepans. Okay. Yeah, but if anyone can confirm for me where Bak Kut Teh was invented, that'd be great, okay? Oh, funnily, oh, wait. Okay. I've been maligning Penang. This one that I bought in Kuala Lumpur, apparently it is in fact made in Penang, alright? So there you go. Whereas this one that I bought in Penang, recommended by the Penang spice vendor, the A1, is actually made in Johor, alright? So two different ends of the compass basically. Penang is up north, right? So even though I bought this down south, this originated from up north in Penang. And this one, although I bought it in Penang, actually came all the way down the southernmost tip of Malaysia in Johor. Alright, so let's see how they're different. Here we go. Have a look. Don't forget guys, I've got some giveaways at the end of this broadcast, alright? So I've got this big, this is a very concentrated bag of chicken stock, alright, from my business. So it's gonna look a little bit foggy because it's got like bits of you know, kind of like the chicken, you know, film on it. But it's going to be very flavoursome as well. And what else do I need? So the idea with the cooking, let's have a quick read of the instructions for both of these. With the big pack, the one from the one made in Penang, it says you need garlic and one pack of the Bak Kut Teh stuff. And then you're going to add a teaspoon of salt, a little soya sauce, and cover and simmer at low fire for 1 hour. Okay, we're not going to simmer it for 1 hour because most of the simmering will be to draw flavor from this and also from the stock, but this is already flavorsome. Whereas this version says meat, garlic, black soy sauce, so it wants it to be darker, and light soy sauce, MSG, oyster sauce, salt, water, and 2 packets of this, if only using 1 kilo, reduced by half. So we're gonna do 1 packet, right, of this, and we'll do a packet of this one here, and we'll split this into 2 lots, and then we can do a comparison. So you can see how different the cooking instructions are as well. This one, basically you boil the meat with the spices for half an hour. You season a bit of salt, a bit of soy sauce, and that's pretty much it. The other one requires like a thick soy sauce and soy sauce and MSG and oyster sauce as well. All right, so let's try and like follow the recipes faithfully, and then we can kind of like tweak them if needs be. All right. And as far as how much water to use, we're going to use less water than what it says here because we're not going to have to simmer this for like an hour, which would actually naturally reduce it, right? Because this is already concentrated. How much water? 10 bowls of water, okay? So 10 bowls, 2.5 liters of water. So we'll probably use like 1.5 liters here. Now, I'm going to do half of it in this, okay? This is my thermocook, right? So it performs a few different functions, including as like a saucepan to cook stuff in. So let's get started. I'm going to add a bit of water to this, all right? So we're not just using the concentrate because it'll be too concentrated. This is not just stock. This is not just chicken stock from boiling chicken bones or whatever. This is actually chicken juice from cooking chicken pieces without any like water, all right? And as in like cooking them in a bag, sous vide style. So when I open up the bags of chicken for my business, what's left is juice, and this is like 2 liters of the juice left, so this is very, very concentrated. It's pure chicken juice. Okay, and let's add some water to this. Katrina, how you doing? Okay, we're gonna start simmering this, and then we'll add the chicken, which I need to actually cut up. I've got a big whole chicken on hand for this. Okay. So two lots, okay, there's nowhere near 2.5 liters. So for this one, I'll just put in a bag, that 1 bag of Bak Kut Teh seasoning from the A1 pack, okay, so this is the A1 pack, all right, and I want to add some garlic, and I need to get a cutting board as well. Okay, so these are whole garlic bulbs, okay, let's grab a knife. So who's gonna guess which one's gonna taste better? I hate doing like comparisons like about which one is better. I'll just point out their points of difference, all right, at the end of it. Because I've been a food producer myself for like, you know, a couple of decades, so I get very my sympathy is with food producers, okay? I don't like to basically diss their efforts. It's easy to talk bad about people, it's hard to actually replicate what they do, okay? So it's a whole garlic bulb. I've just shaved off the top and exposed some of the bulbs here. Let's throw that in. So there you go, that's that. No what? No, 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 no. Why are you so monkey? Why? Why? All right. So with this bigger pot, we're gonna throw in all of these. Okay. Oops, the wolfberries need to come out of their plastic. Latif, how are you? So far I've got the chicken stock, I've got the garlic, and I've got the spices, and I'm gonna simmer these, alright? So I'm gonna put this in and turn this on and start it cooking. Like I said, I'm using a thermal cook to cook that with. Now, the thermal cook is basically like a thermal mix. There are a couple of minor differences in functionality. One point of difference is that the thermal mix, when you use it to cook, the blade always has to spin, otherwise the motor won't turn on, alright? The thermal cook, it doesn't. So I'm basically using it as a glorified like saucepan at the moment. So I've just set the time and I've set the temperature and just press on, so it's just going to count down, and that's all it's doing, alright? Whereas with the thermal mix, it would want to spin the blade. And the reason why I'm not spinning the blade is because it's got stuff like that sachet of herbal mix in it, okay? If the blade starts moving, it might end up chopping the bag open. Okay. So this is the garlic, okay? I'm inclined to put another garlic in, okay? So I'm gonna, because this is a bigger pot, I'm gonna throw another lot of garlic in here. Hey Yin Yin, how you doing? Hey Wang Wai Ping, how you doing? Okay. So by the way guys, most of my broadcasts actually run over on Twitch, okay? I know you're watching this elsewhere at the moment. So this is streaming across Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and also Periscope at the moment. But Twitch is my main live streaming platform. So sometimes I will actually stream stuff on Twitch that aren't actually being concurrently streamed on other platforms, alright? So if you want to catch me on Twitch, just follow me over there. It's just the URL is just go to jackiem.live. All right, my website is jackiem.com.au, but my Twitch channel is just jackiem.live. Just hit follow. You don't actually have to subscribe, by the way. Subscribing means you pay $5 a month, and what subscribing does means you don't get to deal with advertisements and stuff like that, all right? And also it shows your support for my channel, but you don't actually have to subscribe, okay? So that's this one here. Let's turn this on. And let's deal with the chicken. So I got a whole chicken here, okay, from Aldi. Okay, so this chicken this size cost me $6 Australian, $5.75 Australian. Okay, let me just cut it open, and I'm going to cut it in half, well maybe about 2/3 to 1/3, and use some of it here and the rest in that other pot. Okay. And if you've got any questions, just hit me up, by the way, guys. If I miss your comments and that sort of stuff, it's nothing personal, all right, guys? It's just because, like I said, I'm streaming across a number of different platforms, and also on Facebook itself, I'm sharing this across a few different Facebook profiles. So if you comment on the share that I'm not currently staring at, I won't see your message, all right? Your other camera has fogged up. Fix itself. Okay, thanks for that, Remy. Alright, so these are tofu puffs, like I said, okay? So the idea is you don't want to put them in so soon because I worry about them disintegrating, but you want them in towards the end. They're actually already cooked, okay? So you're basically just, you know, using them to absorb the flavors at the end, but they're not actually raw, they're already cooked. Okay, so with the whole chicken, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the skin and use the skin to make chicken crackling, okay, in my air fryer. So if you own an air fryer or you're thinking about owning an air fryer, one great use for it is to make things like chicken crackling. Alright, that's what I've been doing because I don't actually like eating chicken skin when it's boiled or steamed or whatever. I don't like slimy, sticky, fatty chicken skin, but I do like it crispy, okay? So I would eat chicken skin if it were in a fried chicken. But for all other purposes, if I were making a curry and stuff like that, I would actually, now that I've got an air fryer, I would actually be inclined to peel off the skin and then air fry it until it's crispy. Okay. And the other thing I hate dealing with chicken is because it's quite saucy. You know, all the juices and stuff like that. I don't like getting chicken juice all over my workspace. Okay, let's put some of these things away. Okay, so I don't know if you can see the smoke just coming out of this. Alright, so I'm just going to keep a close eye on this because it's already boiling. Okay, that's what it looks like. Okay. It can foam up quite quickly, so you've got to be a little bit careful. Okay, I've turned down the temperature. I've turned down the temperature on that thermocook to just 90 degrees at the moment because it was boiling and I was worried about the soup like spilling out. Yeah. No, don't touch. Don't touch. Yeah, so Noah had his first day at school today. And it was a special needs school. So all the kids there were special needs kids. And he was the only one who was happy to be there by the looks of it. But yeah, the other kids were crying and like, you know, clingy and stuff. He was going around giving hugs to everyone who didn't necessarily want hugs. And tomorrow he'll be at before and after school care before he goes to school, so that's going to be interesting because every Thursday I still run a food business. Every Thursday I sell food at a market stall here in Sydney. So I have to leave first thing in the morning, so I have to drop him off at a basically like a before school care facility, and then a government provided taxi is going to come and pick him up and drop him off at his school. So all that's going to be completely new to him, and the driver hasn't met him. Driver hasn't been to that before and after school care place before, so everything hinges on everything working properly. And then similarly at the end of the day, The driver will pick him up from his school and drop him off at that after school facility, and I will pick him up from there when I get back from running my business. Okay, so I've got my chicken over here. It's more or less skinned. I've left the skin on the wings intact because that just gets too fiddly to try and extract. All right. Okay. And I'm thinking, you know what? I don't think I need that much meat, so I'm gonna cut out some of the chicken breast and save it for a different recipe. Okay. Okay, so I've got a couple of pieces of chicken breast that I'm going to box up, and I've got this chicken. So most of the meat is still on the drumstick and stuff like that is still intact. Okay. I'm going to throw the chicken wings in the smaller pot, the thermocook, and I'll throw the rest of it in here. Okay. Don't touch, okay, baby? And you see the chicken skin over here? I'm just going to season it a little bit with some chicken powder and some white pepper. So that's all the chicken skin you get out of a whole chicken, alright? So, and it's going to shrink as well. You end up with like not very much at all. But Noah? But it's still nice to have something crunchy to munch on, you know. So, pepper. I'm going to actually okay, so this is my air fryer. It's an Optimum Healthy Fry. Alright, this was sent out to me by the company that distributes it here in Australia. And if you go to my website jackiem.com.au, I've got a blog post called like 10 or 12 Asian dishes that work great in an air fryer. Alright, so go and have a look if you're contemplating buying an air fryer. Don't touch it, baby. Don't touch it. Come, go and clean your hands. I'm just gonna wash his hand because it's just touched some chicken, raw chicken. Don't touch it, baby. Don't touch it. So this can actually make an entire new dish, alright? I'm thinking I'm making a, what's it called? I'm trying to remember. I'm gonna dice it out and cook it up with that Sichuan chili. Sichuan pepper. Let's make this closer. you doing? Karen and Karen. Karen Koo and Karen Tom Chapman. How you doing? Alright, if you're just joining me now, so what I've done is I'm actually doing 2 batches of Bak Kut Teh with chicken, alright, because I don't eat pork. I don't recall ever having eaten Bak Kut Teh, but I know the smell is quite strong, so I know how it's meant to smell, and I was just giving people a little bit of a background about how I ended up deciding to do Bak Kut Teh. I was just in Malaysia for Walk Around Asia just a couple of weeks ago, and I came across this store in Penang that sells just Bak Kut Teh spices all loose, okay, and they basically like assembled it for you. You just tell them you want to get some Bak Kut Teh, you want to make Bak Kut Teh, and they put together all the spices, and they're very exotic looking, and let you take it home and cook it. Right, and that's the same way. In the past we used to make curry as well. So you can't go to the Indian spice man or the Asian spice man, and they'll have like turmeric. They'll have basically pureed turmeric and pureed galangal and garlic and onion and chili and all that sort of stuff. And you tell them what curry you're making. You tell them, oh, I'm making chicken curry tonight, and they'll just grab a little bit of this, a little bit of that, put them on a banana leaf, wrap it up in a and tie it up, and you take it home and you use it to cook your curry with, alright? So I thought that was pretty cute the way they were doing it for the Bak Kut Teh, and I wanted to buy some to bring back to Australia. But the guy told me that you probably won't be able to get it past customs over here because some of the ingredients involve like seeds and stuff like that. In Australia, if ever you plan to come to Australia, anything that contains seeds you won't be able to bring through custom, alright? So what they did instead, again, this is the Penang stall, right? Penang Bak Kut Teh specialist. He suggested instead that I bought this one. The brand is 81. He sold it, okay? And this only cost like $2, like $2, like 2 ringgit. I'm talking about. So it's super cheap. Then when I went to Kuala Lumpur, I saw another store in Kuala Lumpur's Chinatown. And they sold this particular brand, okay? This one's a lot bulkier, it's more expensive, but it's got more stuff in it as well. This one, essentially, what you get is a glorified tea bag, alright? A very cinnamony smelling tea bag inside. So there were 2 sachets. I'm using 1 sachet to cook half of my Bak Kut Teh over there. And I'm trying to find Noah's biscuits, if you don't mind. Here you go, baby. And I'm doing the other lot with the other batch of spices. Okay, so let's see how they turn out. Also, the cooking instructions are a little bit different. Yeah, baby. So the one that has basically like a more, more streamlined version of spices has more ingredients that you've got to add, right, to your Bak Kut Teh. And basically, you need, apart from garlic, both of them have like bulbs of garlic in them, and both of them have chicken stock in them and the spices. But the smaller pack, the tea bag version, involves adding things like soy sauce, oyster sauce, MSG, salt, pepper. Yeah, that's it. Soy sauce, oyster sauce, MSG, and salt and pepper. Oh yeah, sorry, and you're meant to actually add black soy sauce, which is thick soy sauce, in your chicken, okay? Whereas this one here, the one with more stuff in it, involves just basically adding a little bit of salt and a little bit of soy sauce, and that's it, okay? So those are the 2 points of difference. I don't know if like adding the MSG, okay, I'm going to use chicken powder. Everyone knows I love chicken powder, alright? So I'm going to use chicken powder in both of them. But as far as the thick soy sauce versus, and oyster sauce versus just using soy sauce, that could actually work. But, I don't remember Bak Kut Teh looking that intensely dark, because thick soy sauce does make things look dark. There are different types of Bak Kut Teh, right? I remember, I think the Singaporean one's more peppery or something like that, and the Malaysian one is more herbal. Is that right? I add some oyster sauce. Do you, Karen? All right, that's good to know. Hi, Robin. How you doing? That is good to know, because I've never had Bak Kut Teh, because I'm I'm like a frustrated Muslim in terms of my eating habits. I don't eat pork. I'm not a Muslim, by the way, guys. I'm a Christian. I was just saying as a joke, but like so I don't know the nuances of Bak Kut Teh. But having said that, like I said, even though I bought this in Penang, if you look in the fine print, this was actually made in Johor, which is the southern tip of Malaysia, right next door to Singapore. So the fact that you mentioned that the Singaporean version is like more peppery, it may be, you know, maybe there's more of a Singaporean nuance to Bak Kut Teh, all right? Whereas this one here, even though I bought this down south in Kuala Lumpur, this was actually made in Penang. If you look at the manufacturer around the back, so that's quite interesting. Okay, this one does like, and also from a, you know, from an aromatic point of view, this version smells very cinnamony to me. All right, it smells like a 5-spice powder. That's all it smells like to me. Because this one smells like more like your traditional Chinese herbal soup, you know what I mean? Now, I don't know if either of them are meant to taste slightly sweet, okay? Because the oyster sauce will actually give it a little bit of a sweet edge, in my opinion. But it doesn't outright say add sugar, okay? So I don't, that's the problem with cooking something that you've never actually eaten, okay? Let me just, let me dig out my oyster sauce. Alright, smell-wise, they smell completely different. I just took a sniff of this one here. This one smells like nothing, alright? This again is the smaller bag. This one, your neighbor will know right away you're cooking something herbal in your kitchen, because it smells like your typical Chinese herbal soup thing. I'm not sure which one I actually prefer, so don't judge it on that basis, alright? But this one does smell very, very herbally, and the other one just, I can't really figure out. It smells chickeny to me, the other one. I'm just going to grab some pepper. And I'm going to use some chicken powder, alright? And they both say soy sauce, and by soy sauce, by the way, for the Westerners who are trying to experiment with Asian cooking, every time a recipe just says soy sauce, by default it means a light soy sauce, okay? Which is this one over here. So this is from Ayam. This was sent out to me, so thank you, Ayam Australia. Ayam Australia does actually make one of the best range of, in terms of quality, they do very, very good quality sauces. Alright, I love adding dry shiitake. Mushroom, that's a good point. Add somehow. Okay, I'm gonna add mushrooms. I totally forgot about that. There's no mention of it in either of these recipes, but I do have some mushrooms over here. Thanks for that, Karen. Alright. So these are dried mushrooms, guys. Okay, so you're meant to soak them. Here you go. Anything else? You guys are probably more expert than I am in making this dish. But like I said, you know, as far as technique, there's not a lot to this. It's basically throwing everything in a pot and simmering it till it's flavorsome, okay? Okay. I saw a recipe online that mentioned mushrooms, but I spaced off on it. Good idea. Okay, I'm just gonna actually just soak this in some hot water, okay guys? So give me a second. I'll take this to the kitchen. Hey Sophie, how you doing? All right. Obviously, I didn't measure how much water I haven't put in any water. This is just pure chicken concentrate. I'm just gonna add a bit of water to this, okay? And Now I'm gonna get some more water because I want to cook some plain rice to go with this. So this is 20 minutes in this here. Obviously not long enough, but I just want to show you what it looks like so far. It just looks like a, you get that film of chicken because this is concentrated chicken stock. I'm just going to try and like strain off some of that foam off the top. But does anyone have a favorite brand of like Bak Kut Teh spices? Let me know and I'll share it in my blog post, alright? And I'll give you a shout out as long as I remember who shared it. Okay, so if you let me know what your favorite brand of Bak Kut Teh spices is, that'd be wonderful. So again, this is the one with just a tea bag. I'm almost tempted to put the second tea bag of it in, okay, because it's got no flavor. So as far as I'm concerned at the moment. Let's throw some of the mushrooms in here as well now. Okay, here you go. So why don't we add the seasoning it mentioned, okay? Oyster sauce. Here you go, big bottle. If you've got oyster sauce, you need to refrigerate it after it's open. Okay, bit of oyster sauce. I'm not measuring anything as usual. Bit of soy sauce. I'm just gonna put little dashes of each of these in there. Oops, that's a bit of a big dash. Bit of chicken powder, pepper, and it says MSG, but I'm going to put the chicken powder has a bit of MSG anyway, so I'm going to leave that out. So there you go. Let's cook this some more. That's my chicken crackling, by the way. That's 10 minutes in the air fryer. It's still a bit soft, so we're going to do it a little bit longer. And turn it around. Okay, so chicken crackling half done. So I'll do it for another 10 minutes. Okay, this one, it smells very, very herby. Yeah. Okay, let's go with the oyster sauce. I know I said we were going to stay true to the recipe, but since Karen said she put oyster sauce in hers, we're just gonna do it. And let's put in hey Malini, how you doing? Asio Bak Kut Teh. Asio Bak Kut Teh from Singapore. Okay, I'm gonna look it up. Chicken powder, alright, just half a tablespoon at the moment. We might need more. Soy sauce. And the one thing I didn't put in the other one is the thick soy sauce, okay? So I don't have that much thick soy sauce. You want more water, baby? Let me get you some water, okay? Can I pick up your biscuit, please? Maria, pick up. Pick up. Here you go, baby. You want a drink? Okay. Let's throw in the mushrooms. After all this, I might end up deciding, oh, I don't even care for Bak Kut Teh, you know, because I have no idea what is how it's meant to taste. Like It's a bit of an obsession with the Chinese community in Malaysia, but I don't know if any of the other races are huge on Bak Kut Teh. Alright, I'm gonna start putting in the tofu puffs, alright? And I know most of you know what tofu puffs, but for those who don't, I have to point out that tofu puffs are like deep fried tofu, okay? They're deep fried to the point where they're spongy, and if you cut them open, you can see that they're all katakomi, okay? And the idea with it is that it's meant to absorb the flavors of the whatever you use it in. Usually you put it in laksa, curry laksa, all right? So it's nice when it soaks up all the flavors of the laksa soup. But I have to mention it because I've had Australians not realize tofu puffs are meant to be like that, okay? Some Australians only know one version of tofu, which is the hard white tofu, okay? And I've had someone complain that my tofu must be off because it was all spongy, okay? So just so you know, it's meant to be spongy. Love eating BKT with yao cha guai. Yeah, that's why I think that might work too. I actually eat yao cha guai with Vietnamese pho, alright? The beef noodle soup. Next time you go to Cabramatta, Pho Tao Bay, which is one of my favorite pho places in the world, Pho Tao Bay has like a big bucket of these, okay? To be fair, theirs are like shorter, okay? But apparently it is a thing in some parts of Vietnam to eat your pho with noodles as well as these yao cha guai, alright? But other restaurants in Cabramatta that I've been to don't actually serve it with yao cha guai. But basically with Pho Tao Bay, whenever you go there, that big bucket of yao cha guai, you help yourself to it and they'll just add it to your bill, okay? A lot of the time you go later in the day, they will have sold out, so the bucket will be empty, so you just have to have your pho by itself, okay? But I can appreciate having eaten there, how this will add to the Bak Kut Teh, alright? We'll try chicken cheap, put dry tofu from Taiwan when it's not. Is that right? Oh, I never tried that. Dried tofu from Taiwan. I'm gonna have to look it up when I go shopping next. That's the thing about Asian ingredients as well. We Asians are always like encountering new stuff ourselves. The other thing I saw online when I looked up Bak Kut Teh, someone put lettuce in there. I don't know if that's a normal thing. So anyone who's a Bak Kut Teh expert, can you tell me if putting lettuce in there is the norm or? I'm just going to throw some pepper in. I've got a feeling that I need more seasoning, like that there's going to be still quite bland because I only put a little bit of that chicken powder in it so far. I haven't put any salt in either of these, but I want to taste test it first before I put any salt in. Because if you follow much of my cooking, you'll notice I very rarely use salt. And let's cook some rice as well, yeah? So I'm just going to cook my rice in a rice cooker, pressure cooker over here. Let me just put this away and grab some rice. And by the way, guys, if I weren't doing this live, right? If I weren't doing it so that you guys can actually see the action in this pot, I would actually throw everything in a pressure cooker, this one over here, alright, and let it just pressure cook for half an hour. That way, I throw everything in, cover it, pressure cook it for half an hour and it's done. Because it's not like there's a lot of manipulating or anything like that I need to do with this. So rice in here. By the way, this pressure cooker that I'm using is courtesy of Optimum again. Courtesy of Fruity. The company that distributes it is called Fruity, F-R-O-O-T-H-I-E. And the brand is Optimum Pressure Cook. Alright, this is called the Optimum Pressure Cook. And oh yeah, before I go on any further, shout out to Lenovo Australia for the laptops that I use for my live streaming and for monitoring the chats and stuff like that. Throw it all in, done. Yeah, I'm bouncing back and forth because I'm also cooking dinner. Cool. Don't tell me you're making Bak Kut Teh. But yeah, so the laptops I'm using are from Lenovo. The streaming laptop is a great gaming laptop. It's got a Lenovo IdeaPad Y700, right? And this one over here that I'm monitoring the chat from is actually a Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Yoga. Let's try this, see what it's like. Alright. It tastes very like, because of the chicken stock concentrate, it tastes like very much like chicken broth at the moment. But I think smell-wise, this is starting to smell a lot like the Bak Kut Teh that I'm used to smelling. Because Bak Kut Teh smell is quite strong. Like you can walk down the street and you can know, like, you know, someone's cooking Bak Kut Teh at home. No eat? You're gonna sit down, okay? You wanna eat more biscuit? Why don't you eat your biscuit? Okay? Salt in this. I'm trying to remember if there's any ingredient that I'm missing. So the thick soya sauce will add some sweetness to your broth as well. It's just I don't know if I want the broth to be that like quail eggs. Throw in hard-boiled eggs. Really, hard-boiled eggs. With your yeah, that's right. Quail, put eggs in it. I don't remember seeing it with eggs. I should have bought some eggs ahead of time. Let's have a look. See, the garlic is still quite hard, so it's not garlicky enough yet, I guess. I guess that's why you really should cook it for an hour and a half, to get the flavors out of the garlic and stuff. Okay, this now tastes salty, right? Which is what we want. But I'm thinking, I mean, it feels to me like it's missing something. But again, you know, it may in fact is meant to taste like that, right? It just tastes a little bit thin to me. But it might, like I said, it might just be the garlic, alright? Maybe it needs the flavors to infuse a bit more. Alright, this is the chicken crackling. It's still a little bit soft in the middle, but I think I might take it out now, and it should crust up a little bit further. So there you go, that's the chicken crackling, right? And the other way you can use this as well is, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned, I sprinkled some chicken powder and some pepper in it before I air fried it. But the other way you can use this as well is just after it's crunchy like this, is throw it in a blender and just blitz it till it's like you know, till it's quite fine, and then you sprinkle it over your food. All right. I don't know if Noah will buy into this Bak Kut Teh thing. I don't know if I buy into it. My version just to add more protein. My boy loves eggs. Alright, yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, let's add more chicken powder here because it feels to me like it needs a bit more body. Right? Let's have a look at this other version here in my thermal cook. So this one again uses a different brand of spice mixtures, mixes. It tastes completely different. It's like a different dish altogether. It just tastes like chicken soup, this. How odd. It tastes nothing like, it doesn't smell like Bak Kut Teh. I read somewhere last time, maybe in the instructions on the packaging, that if you want the taste to be stronger, to press the bag a bit. It was a bit rigorous pressing the herbal bag. I wanted to ended up pressing the bag. My husband banned me for life. Oh, damn. Oh, bummer. This actually, hey, Fami, cheers for the amazing content. Oh, hey, good to see you. Thank you. And thanks for following, by the way. Alright, so again, I have a feeling, even though this is only a small portion, this is only like about a liter of water here, okay? Whereas, according to the instructions, I just want to make sure I'm not like misquoting them here. According to the instruction, it says to use 1.5 liters of water and 2 packets. Okay, I should have used 2 packets. Damn. But it says to reduce everything if only 1 kilo of meat is used. Okay. So I think I need to add the second pack here, okay? Because it says 10 bowls of water. And by the way, if you buy like if you buy spices from like places like Malaysia, they don't sometimes they don't go by the Western measurements. They don't talk about like a cup of water being equivalent to 250 mils, all right? They go by bowls of water, which is the rice bowl, which to me always also is equivalent to 250 mils. But I've just realized with this, with the instruction, it says 10 bowls of water, and it actually says brackets 1.5 liters of water. Okay, so when they said 10 bowls of water, I thought 2.5 liters of water. So, which is why this was only 1 liter, and I thought it'd be strong enough. But no, to them 10 bowls of water is only 1.5 liters of water. Okay, so just to confuse things a little bit more. Let's cook this a little bit more. All right. But it does actually, did I put more chicken powder? It needs more chicken powder. And also the other ingredient that version asked for is this here. Okay, it says dark soy sauce, which this particular brand rebranded the naming of this. Okay, so in Chinese we still call it hak xiao, or which means dark soy sauce. All right, but this brand that we know as Chinese dark soy sauce has now, instead of calling it dark soy sauce, they're calling it cooking caramel now, okay, which makes things extremely confusing for people learning to cook. All right, so if you are starting out on Asian cooking, you see a Malaysian cookbook or a Chinese cookbook that says dark soy sauce, it probably means this here that's called cooking caramel. Alright, sometimes it's called like thick soy sauce as well, okay, but dark soy sauce is what we grew up knowing, okay, knowing it as. My favorite brand, yeah. Let me go to my taste buds. Oh, go. Normally add 2 bags. Oh damn. See, I should have done 2 bags. I didn't want it to smell overpowering because, in all honesty, I'm not a huge fan of all these herbal soups. Like when I was in Petaling Street in Kuala Lumpur, which is the Chinatown area for those who don't know, Chinatown in Kuala Lumpur, there were like some stores selling like herbal drinks and herbal soups and all that. I'm not a huge fan of like herbal smelling foods, right? It's almost like, because I grew up associating herbal foods with like medicine, okay, because the Chinese use herbs for medicine. So to me it's like having like a medicinal food, and yeah, it doesn't sound particularly appealing. But I'm going to add some of this thick soy sauce in here now, and you see why it's called thick soy sauce. It actually is quite thick and hard to pour out, okay. Okay. So what this usually does, it gives your food this really like dark caramelly sheen to it, okay? It's also got a bit of sweetness. That's where the caramel comes into it. Alright, how about, like, while we're waiting for this to finish cooking, right? My mom calls it black sauce, yeah. In Chinese, like, we called it black sauce actually growing up. So yeah, it's just kind of like mutated from black sauce to thick sauce, or black or dark soy sauce, to thick soy sauce, to now cooking caramel. All right, but it's just this. I'm sure it's just this brand that decided to call it cooking caramel. All right, I don't think everyone. There's another brand floating around out there somewhere. I don't know what it's called, but some people like that one. But that probably will not be called cooking caramel. This tastes like fine. But I feel inclined to put a hint of sugar in it. I don't know if that's like completely like wrong. Or whether it's allowed. Tell me if I should put sugar in this, guys. But yeah, let me try and do a draw for the okay, can everyone just say yes please in your comments if you want to be in the draw for the diamond dots that is being offered by Aussie Trend Handicrafts, right? So it's called, let's have a look. It's called AussieTrendHandicrafts.com, AussieTrendHandicrafts.com, and the kit is called a let me just see, make sure I get everything right. It's called the flower mandala, all right? M-A-N-D-A-L-A, mandala. So you're getting a diamond dots kit called the flower mandala, courtesy of Aussie Trend Handicrafts. So if you want to be in the running for it, can you just say yes please, and I will add your name to a special software that automatically picks out a winner, all right? Yes please, Karen, sounds good. Okay, Karen Tan, Karen Koo, Sophie, yep. Anyone over on, Okay, Twitch, it will pick up names from Twitch. Okay. So anyone on Twitch, let me hop over and open up that software. Like I said, I had some problems with it the other day and it ended up like bypassing it altogether. Not tools. Is that on here? Nope, it's not on here. I have to do it on the other computer. So am I missing anyone else? Say yes please. So I've got Karen, Sophie. Let's have a look. I want to make sure I'm not missing any comments. Okay, so let me hop over to this computer. Sorry, it is going to be super close up. Lock tools. Lock tools. Here we go. And so, no, that's the best BKT. So anyone else say yes please for the giveaway? Okay, let me kill Nightbot. Browser root. Hey, how you doing? A strip for potatoes, and I'm gonna add Karen, and Chaplin pen, and add Karen Koo and pen, and add Sophie. Alright, because Sophie follows me on Twitch, but she doesn't actually, she's actually watching on Facebook. Anyone else I need to add? Alright. Okay, let's have a look. You got a super addictive laugh. Alright, let's try and add this. So add screen capture. Okay. So I don't know if you can see this. Those are the people whose names are in the draw. All right. So you're in you're in with a pretty good chance. Okay. So let's start the animation. Cool, congratulations. Noah. Alright, congratulations, Karen Cool. Can you send me a message, Karen, with your mailing address? Alright. And congratulations on winning. I forgot to reiterate, I to reiterate. I think you are, aren't you? All right, congratulations, Karen. So yeah, send me a private message with your address, and I'll forward it on to Aussie Trend Handicrafts. The rest of you, I've got another set to give away next week. All right, and that's a really nice one. I like that one, the pasty one. So keep an eye out for that. And also, okay, I'm not going to bother drawing for the ang pao packets, the red packets, but I've got a few of these. So for anyone who wants one of these, just send me a private message and say red packet, please. Okay, first 7 people to send me their address for this red packet. So this one is not geographically limited. Okay, anyone, first 7 people to send me request for this in Melbourne. Karen, awesome. Yeah, okay, great. So Karen, yeah, send me your address, and just mention that it's for the diamond dots. All right, just so I keep track of everything. And everyone else who wants one of these, send me a message with your address. You can send it on Twitch, you can send it on Facebook, and I'll organize for that to be sent out to you, courtesy of the Federal Hotel Kuala Lumpur. All right, and I will keep drawing for these until I run out. But I'm a little bit of a rush today because I've got a handyman coming over in about 20 minutes or so to fix some stuff in my apartment. So yeah. Look, this, I don't know how this is meant to taste, but yeah, it's not bad, but I'm not sure if it's something that I would stay up at night dreaming about. But I'm gonna succumb and put in just a tiny teaspoon of sugar here, okay? Because it feels to me like it needs something to cut through some of the saltiness. All right, red packet. Sophie, yes, okay, cool, no worries. Sophie, can you send me your address, please? Okay. Okay. It tastes a little bit like, is this meant to taste like a little bit like strong tea, or no? I'm so bad with this. Because it tastes a little bit like tea now, you know. Thanks, Sophie. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so let's take this out so you can see what it looks like. I'll turn this off because everything is disintegrating here. So it's quite dark, isn't it? You can see it. And I'm going to, Sophie didn't send me one with money. Alright, so I've got some yao zha guai here, okay? Let's throw some of this in. So this is the fried dough stick. And I'm told apparently only people in Kuala Lumpur adds this to their Bak Kut Teh, not people in Penang. That's what I'm told anyway, I don't know. Alright, so there you go. That's my first attempt at Bak Kut Teh, alright? I don't know. I don't know if there's something I'm going to be cooking on a regular basis, because good medium to carry just enough. I put small packet of blue tea to all. Oh, that's a good idea, right? Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea, Alex. You know. Yeah, for those of you who want the red packet, yeah. Okay, cool. Rup, can you send me your address, Rup? Yeah, I might wrap it up here, guys. I'm gonna take a photo and I'll post the recipe. And what was the name of that? Anyone else, if you can comment in there, and I'll try and farm your responses, right? If anyone has a favorite Bak Kut Teh brand of spices, if you can post it in that broadcast, right, in the comments, and I will try and farm it and add it to my blog post that will accompany this broadcast. and that way everyone knows what to look out for when they go to the shops to buy. All right. So again, the ones that I tried today was this one here, which I bought from Penang, but which I'm pretty sure you can buy here in Australia. It's called A1. But again, like I said before, you do need 2 packets, all right, to be able to get the flavors out. This one is a lot more herbally, all right. Like someone was saying that there's a difference between Penang Bak Kut Teh and what you get in Singapore, and by virtue of the fact that this is made in Penang, I think they're quite right if that's what they mean, okay? Because this is quite like a traditional Chinese herbal tea thing, yeah. And so yeah, there you go, yeah. Congratulations to Karen for winning the tonight's giveaway. But don't forget, guys, I do have a couple more broadcasts leading up to Chinese New Year, and I'm actually going to be making the Chinese New Year raw salmon salad next. All right, so that's going to be coming up. I want to say Friday, but I'm not sure. But let's check. Make sure you follow my announcements on social media. All right, guys, to catch my next Chinese New Year broadcast. I'm just trying to clear up my schedule a little bit for some of the Walk Around Asia content that I'm still working on. All right. So for those of you who've been following me on Walk Around Asia, I've got like hours. I've got hundreds of like clips that I need to collate now and create videos for them, like they're both recipe videos and also kind of like travel guidey, where to eat sort of stuff videos as well. If you've got any suggestions as to the format, I am open to hearing from you, so let me know. But yeah, because of that, I'm a little bit snowed under as far as like trying to run my live broadcast as well at the same time. In any case, thanks for joining. So like I said, don't forget, I do have a couple more broadcasts leading up to Chinese New Year, and at least one of them will relate to making yi sang, which is the Malaysian Singaporean raw salmon salad, raw fish salad, but I use salmon. All right, which I used to make from scratch for my restaurant and used to be very popular. I'll teach you guys how I make it. Okay, so thanks again for joining me. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch. Twitch.tv/JackieM Food is my Twitch channel. Otherwise, just JackieM.live, which is easier to remember, will take you to my Twitch channel. Just hit follow. You don't have to subscribe. You can if you want, and you'll get notified about when I go live. All right. Thanks again, guys. And it looks like this particular screen is yeah. I'll leave that alone. And I will see you next broadcast. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Ciao.